Yeah, you made a good point, and it sort of sparks a debate where you mentioned how over the time period, society develops obviously throughout time, but
Yeah.
it's crazy how we have our leaders in most countries as well are always the older generation, right? And so our current generations are being run on people that have like I don't want to say out of date beliefs, but they're sort of the newer beliefs have been overtaken in certain aspects of life, and they're not
Well,
valued as much, you know?
I think the problem is that they are completely detached from the decision, or not even, maybe not completely, but they are somewhat, depending on the person, depending on the morals, and depending on the situation. But they are, especially when they're, over 50, over 60, over 70, they're detached from the decisions which they're making, because the decisions which they're making are decisions that probably won't have a visible impact which they'll be around to see. It's just that it's a problem with a lot of systems that are currently active, literally in every country, is the fact that the people in charge are the people who are not going to be affected by the decisions they're making.
Yep.
They're making decisions to change the world for a new generation which isn't around yet. Yet, they're making these decisions based on what they think is right and what they want now, even though they're not going to be around to basically reap the consequences. It's just this huge. That's like another, just like a completely different topic, isn't it? Because it brings in this whole issue of Brexit, because the
Oh
people
yeah.
you look at the age um distribution of people who voted for Brexit, people who voted against Brexit, it is always going to be the former, sorry, so the older generation is voting for Brexit,
Yep.
and they're voting for a decision that's going to hold true for a lifetime, for the generation that voted against Brexit. Yet, they're not going to be around or they won't be around for too long to sort of even revel in this victory that they might call it. They're making a judgment which is completely, like, it's just ridiculous if you think about it, because imagine being 80, yeah,
Yep.
and yeah, sure, 80 is not, like, it's not the end of life, but what if you're like 80 and you've got a lot of illnesses on the way, and you're just generally not very healthy, and you're just so the idea of Brexit comes up, and you think, okay, I'm going to vote Brexit because I just don't like immigrants coming into our country, because you are completely, you're in a bubble society. You don't understand these people. You don't appreciate what they bring, and you are bitter and shallow and single-minded. Because that's the life that they've lived before. That's the life from a different generation,
Yeah.
and they make a judgment based on that life and those experiences and their thoughts that they currently feel, because have the perspective to look, turn around and be like, okay, this decision needs to be made, thinking about the general populace, because democracy only works when people think about, well, it only works. Oh, I don't want to say that, actually. Never mind. But I don't want to say something too bad,
Yeah,
but
yeah, yeah.
basically, it's like you want to try, if you want to make a healthy decision, you need to think about how it's going to impact everyone rather than yourself. You need to be selfless.